Hi everyone! Welcome to my channel. I'm Maddie and I thought for my first YouTube video I would do a what's in my bag video slash handbag review on the Gucci Dionysus handbag. Personally, I find these sort of videos very helpful. I often seek them out when I'm going to make a luxury handbag purchase, just so that I can make the best decision possible when buying a handbag that's worth thousands of dollars. So I personally really like to buy and collect luxury handbags, shoes, fashion pieces. It's just something that I personally like and it's a hobby of mine. I find that these review videos are really helpful in trying to figure out if I really want such an item, especially if you're spending lots of money on it. You want to be sure that this is the thing that you really want. If I'm interested in buying something new, something designer, I often seek out these videos myself just to make the right decision. I just thought it would be a really good first video just so that I could put out my 2 cents on how I felt about this bag. Maybe it'll help somebody out there make the decision on if they want to buy this bag or if they don't. So if you enjoy what's in my bag videos or just handbag reviews, designer handbag reviews, then stay tuned. So this is my Gucci Dionysus handbag. So I try not to drop it. I purchased it in the size mini. I believe there are 5 other sizes that you can purchase it in. One that's smaller, there's 2 that are smaller than this. There's the super mini, the wallet on chain, the mini, and then small, and then medium. I went for the mini just because I think in proportion to my height and body shape, it looked the best on me. I'm short. I stand around 5 feet tall, and so this looked, I think, the best on my shape. So this handbag was introduced by Gucci's current creative director, Alessandro Michele. I apologize for my pronunciation of his name. It's part of their beloved collection, so it is a handbag silhouette that won't be going out, I believe. It does change in texture, a little bit in style every season I've noticed, but the general silhouette of it so far hasn't gone away. My story on as to why I decided to pick up this bag, I had originally seen it quite a bit on Instagram and YouTube, and I just was really in love with the silhouette. It was something that was different from the other bags in my current collection. And so I had frequented the Gucci boutique in my city just to try on the bag and see how it looked, what coloring I wanted. Originally, I was going to go for the Gucci Supreme monogram canvas finish to the bag in the same size. Literally last minute, when I was about to purchase the bag, I saw this pebbled leather navy version of it, and I decided to go for this one instead. It was super impulsive last minute. I just saw it on the shelf and I was like, I have to have this one. It's so different, but it's so beautiful. So one of the things that caught my eye about this bag is the clasp detailing here. It's beautiful. It's adorned with Swarovski crystals, and Gucci told me that if any of them broke, that they would fix it for me. I'm surprised that none of them have broke yet, because I do throw this bag around, unfortunately. But it is constructed of 2 tiger heads conjoining, which references the Greek god of wine, Dionysus, which this bag is named after. It's a beautiful part to the bag, I think. Just when the jewels catch on the lights, I think it just looks magnificent. So getting into the review, I'll start off with the pros of the bag and what I find the best features of it. So the first one is that it's really nice. The mini size in particular, which this one is that you are able to wear it crossbody or over the shoulder. So it does have the 2 chains, and you can easily transition it into a long chain, which can be easily worn crossbody, or into the short version, which can be thrown over the shoulder. This is really nice if you want that hands-free capability, because you can just chuck it over crossbody and then have the ability to carry other things. Grocery bags, more shopping bags, whatever you want. Another pro that I find about this bag, and this style in particular versus the Gucci Supreme Monogram version, is that this one I find it's a lot more elegant and classic in style. It's a bag that doesn't scream logos on it at all. It's very feminine, very structured. So I do like that it is, I would say, a fairly timeless piece for the Gucci brand. Don't get me wrong, I don't think there's anything wrong with the Gucci Supreme monogram version. It's a lot more casual, but if you don't want something that has a lot of logos on it, then I would recommend getting the pebbled leather version. What I will say about the Gucci Supreme monogram version of the bag is that the one with the tan suede trim and the one with the black suede trim are ones that they do make every season. So that one so far has been a version of the Dionysus that has constantly been in production. You can get it pretty much any season in any of the 5 sizes. Whereas the pebbled leather, full leather versions of the Dionysus, I know that the colors rotate. So if you do see a color that you like, it might not be there next season. I think only the black one is still in production, and it has been for a couple seasons now. Another pro about this bag in particular I find is that even though it is fairly feminine, classic, even formal in some aspects in appearance, I do find that it is a fairly easy piece to style. When I did initially impulsively purchase this version of the Gucci Dionysus and didn't get the monogram version, I remember I showed my mom and she was like, "Are you even gonna be able to wear that with anything?" because of how formal she thought it looked. And I almost freaked out and I thought, oh no, I made the worst decision. But after wearing it and trying it with a couple outfits that weren't necessarily too dressed up, I did find I could wear it with quite a bit in my wardrobe. I do have quite a few casual pieces within my wardrobe. I'm a fairly casual person. The only time that I do dress up is when I go to work, but on my off days I'm usually in a t-shirt or hoodie or jeans or leggings. I don't find this bag as strange when pairing it with a t-shirt and some jeans and sneakers. One of my favorite features about this bag is how secure it is. In order to gain access inside the bag, you first have to click a little clasp on the side here, which pops the top open. There's another secret pocket, I call it a secret pocket, a more secure pocket at the front here. Oops. You would have to flip open this little flap in order to gain access into it. It's not very big. I store things like loose cash, which I never usually carry with me. I will store it in that front pocket just because it is very difficult to try and access. So you have the clasp on the front and then you have to force your way into this front pocket here. Another great thing about this bag is that I have found it to be super durable. I've had this bag now for, I want to say, a little bit over a year, and it's not scratched at all. And I would say I personally, for the amount of money I paid for this, I am unfortunately fairly rough with it, but surprisingly it has not scratched, so that's a great thing. There's been no scratches on the leather, there's been no stains or scratches on the interior as well. Another thing that I think is great about it is that because the hardware is more of this aged sort of gunmetal material, it doesn't scratch, like fairly durable. So you get your money's worth out of it, even if you throw it around in your car like me. Also, one kind of comparison I found between this bag and the version with the monogram on it is that the interior of the leather, the pebble leather versions, is made of a cotton canvas. Don't know if you can really tell. Which I find is a little bit better than the monogrammed versions, just because the monogram versions are a suede interior. I find that if there are crumbs or lint or dust, it sticks a lot easier inside of a suede interior versus this cotton canvas interior. I think at the end of the day though, if they were both to stain with some sort of liquid or gel, it would be a nightmare to get out of the bag. I don't really travel with a lot of loose makeup products or loose liquid items, so I usually don't worry about that. But if you do, I would just maybe be a little bit cautious. Maybe see if you could get a smaller pouch to store those items in, just for precautionary reasons. So now just kind of getting into the cons of this bag. The first one being that the size of it, you can't store a lot in it, unfortunately. I've learned to live a little bit more minimalistically with my handbags. The last few ones that I have purchased have been on the smaller side, which don't bother me at all. If you are someone who does need to pack in a couple things, like maybe a full-on makeup kit or a journal or a laptop, or if you like to have a book with you, this won't be the bag for you just because of the size of it. You cannot put all that stuff in here. You will have to learn to live a little bit more minimally if you are to pick up this bag. Another con that I did find so far in having this bag for about a year and a bit now is that the sides of the bag, so the sides here, they do distort over time, especially if you pack a lot of stuff in. In the beginning, when I did get this bag, I was using a larger card holder than I have now. And I found that it did stretch the bag to the point that the right side, I believe, yeah, the right side here is a little bit more distorted and has a little bit more creasing. I've learned to live with it. I can't see myself selling this bag anytime soon, so I'm fine with it. It has a little imperfection now. Big deal for me. I'm okay with it. But just know that the sides, because they are less structured than the overall exterior, the front and the back of the bag, they are more prone to distortion and creasing. So if that does bother you, maybe something to consider. Another kind of con that I did find with this bag is that it is fairly heavy for the size of it. It's not like holding anything too crazy. It's not like a whole bunch of weights weighing you down or anything like that. But because of the extensive hardware on the bag, the chain, the clasp on the front, the overall structuring of the bag, I do find it is a heavier, smaller bag, which might bother some people. I think if you are carrying this bag for maybe a long period within the day, you might not enjoy it. So something to definitely consider. Usually when I have this bag, I'm kind of out and about or I'm going to and from work, so I'm not really carrying it too extensively throughout the day. Another thing that could possibly be a negative about the bag is, although I did say that it was fairly versatile within my casual wardrobe, it might not be the same for another person who also has a casual wardrobe. Depending on your lifestyle and your overall pairings and what you typically wear, you might find this bag a little too formal for everyday use. Okay, so now I'll show you guys what is inside my Gucci Dionysus bag. Getting on with it, let me open it up here. First thing that I grab is my card holder. It's my ID, my credit cards, debit cards, everything essential to me. This one is made by Tom Ford. It's my favorite card holder just because it does have the 4 slots, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, as well as a huge center one here that I can stuff a lot of things into. I have a lot of loyalty rewards cards jammed in the center here. That is the first thing. Second thing is my trusty hand sanitizer. Because we are living in COVID times, people, you cannot go anywhere without it. So I got in here. Oh, this is just a lip balm, lipstick. It's one of those kind of pink changing ones. It's by Tom Ford. It's kind of like the Dior lip balm, in that it's this kind of rosy pink color, and once you swatch it onto your skin, it turns a shade of pink according to, I believe it's how dehydrated your lips are. Next thing I have are just my car keys. I've got my retainer case, because I do wear a retainer. So I do need this, it's essential. This is the one thing, if not for my wallet, that I do have to take everywhere with me. I also carry my AirPods in here, especially if I'm on a Zoom or a Teams meeting, or just want to listen to music. Easy and accessible. Got a hair bobble in here, because You never know when you need that. And a couple of spoolies, because I do have eyelash extensions. And every time I get them done, my lash tech hands me a new one, and they just kind of pile up in here unless I clean out my bag. Yeah, that's all I really store inside. It's not a whole lot. The only thing I did notice is that I can't fit my phone inside the bag with all the stuff that I just pulled out. I have the iPhone 11 Pro, and it does fit perfectly horizontally in there if I don't have my retainer case. So for those of you who don't need a retainer, you could definitely fit your phone in there horizontally. It would be fine. And yeah, that is what's inside my bag. So we've reached the end of this video. Thank you for tuning in to my what's in my bag video / review on my Gucci Dionysus handbag. I hope by the end of this video that it's helped someone out there reach a decision on if they want to purchase this handbag or not, which is totally fine too. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone!